Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to cut and sew this ruched Bubu gown with a snatched waist. If this is what you're interested in learning, keep watching and let's get into the tutorial. So I have 3 yards of printed crepe fabric here, okay? Then I have my bias tape, my elastic, and plain black crepe that I'm going to be using for the belt. Okay, so now to start, I'm going to be folding my fabric into 2. That's 1.5 inch, 1.5 inch. I'll fold it into 2. Okay, then after folding it into 2, I will fold it again into 4, just like so. All right, so after folding it, I'm going to be marking my starting point. Okay, so I'm going to rule a straight line. This straight line that I'm ruling here is going to serve as my starting point. That is where I'm going to be starting my measurements from. So the back and front is being cut together. Okay, so now for the neck depth of the back, I'm going to be using 1 inch, and for the width of both the back and front, I'm using 3 inches. Okay, so I'm just going to mark that and I will curve it. I will curve my neckline. Okay, so I'm going to be using the whole fabric, the whole length from this my neck depth. I'm going to connect with a slanted line down to the end of the fabric. Okay, so I came down from my starting point 1 inch, so I'm just going to draw a slanted line to that 1 inch there. Now for the sleeve opening, I'm going to be marking 15 inches because the sleeve is really open, is wide open. Okay, so I'm going to be marking 15 inches for the sleeve opening. Now that 15 inches, I'm going to curve it this way. Okay, as you can see, just what I'm doing, I just curve it inward, and I'm going to take this line all the way down to the hem of the dress. So I'm working with a length of 58. Okay, and the length of this fabric is 60. So I'm just going to take the straight line all the way down to the end of the length. The remaining inches, I'm going to use it to fold the hem of the dress. Okay, so now I'm going to be cutting out the neckline of the back just like so, and for the shoulder, I'm going to be adding 1/2 inch so I can use it to join both the back and the front together on the shoulder. Okay, so I'm adding 1/2 inch on the shoulder line, and I'll cut out the markings on the fabric. So now I'm going to be removing the back of the dress. Okay, so I'm just going to remove it. So this is the back. I'm going to set it aside. Now I'm going to be working on the front of the fabric. So I'm going to be folding it back, and I'll use pin to hold it together, to hold it down in place, because this fabric is quite stretchy. So I'm just going to get my pin and pin everything together. So now from my starting point, I'm going to be marking 8 inches for the neck depth of the front. You can decide to come down 9 inches if you want. Okay, then I'll use my ruler to draw a straight line. And you can also decide to draw a curvy line if you want. So I'll cut out the front neckline. Okay, so after that, I'm going to be marking 15.5 inches from my starting point. That's where I'm going to be placing my belt on. Okay, so after marking that 15.5 inches, I'm going to be marking my waist measurement divided by 4, which is 8 inches. So I'm just going to mark that there. For that 8 inches, I'm going to be using my pin to poke on it so it can come out on the other side. Okay, and I'm going to mark it as well. So that's where I'm going to be placing my belt on. Alright, so I'm going to be placing my belt there. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to iron out this straight line at the front here. Okay, so iron it out because that's where we're going to be placing our elastic to get the ruched effect at the front. Alright, so now I'm going to open it up and I will get my bias tape. Okay, so I'll place it and I'll take it to my sewing machine and turn the neckline of the front and the back as well. So this is what I'm using for the belt. The width is 2.5, but you can decide how wide you want your belt to be, and the length I'm using here is 32 inches. You can decide how long you want your belt to be as well. So I'm going to be folding it into two and I will stitch it down, then I will turn it inside out. Okay, then I'll turn it to the right side. All right, so after that, this is what it looks like. And you can see the neckline of the dress. I've also torn it with bias. Now for the belt, I'm going to be placing it on the 8 inches that I marked, okay, which is my waist measurement divided by 4 that I marked. So I'm going to pin it down this way and I'll take it to my sewing machine and I'll stitch it down. Okay, just that part. I'm just going to run a stitch at that part to stitch it down. Alright, so after that, this is what it's looking like. As you can see, it's coming. That is the belt that is going to help give this the snatch effect for the dress. Okay, so now I'm going to get my elastic. Okay, so I'm going to be placing it at the middle, that line that we ironed. Okay, so you're going to place it on it and stretch it to get the ruched effect. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to sew that. So from the middle there, I'm going to be placing the elastic and I'll lock the stitch. Okay, now I'm going to be stretching the elastic. You stretch it till the elastic cannot be stretched again. Like stretch it, then you place it on the middle line and you sew. Okay, so that's how you're going to sew it all the way. Then you leave about 1 or 1.5 inch to hem the down of the dress. Alright, so after sewing it, this is what it looks like. You can see the ruched effect the elastic is giving. Okay, I'm going to turn the dress to the wrong side so you can see the inside. Okay, and you can see the hem. You can see I did not sew up to that place because I'm going to be folding it. Okay, so now I'm going to be bringing the back of the dress and I'll place it with the front shoulder to shoulder. Now I'll take it to my sewing machine and I'll stitch it down. And here I'm done stitching it down. I've iron open, press it, as you can see. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to fold the sleeve. So I'm going to be folding the sleeve this way and I'll pin it down and I'll take it to my sewing machine to sew. So I've already overlocked all the sides of my dress. Okay, so here I'm done stitching it and this is what it looks like, as you can see, and I've also ironed it down. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to close up the dress. So now I'm going to be placing the armhole this way and I'll pin it down. Okay, so everything can stay in place because like I said before, this fabric is just shifting around. So I'm going to pin it down and I'll sew 1/2 inch from the armhole all the way down. Then when I'm done, I will fold the hem of the dress. Okay, here I'm done stitching it. Okay, so as you can see, this is what it looks like, and I've also folded the hem of the dress. Okay, so hope this tutorial was helpful. Hope you find this video helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bell so whenever I drop a new tutorial you'll be notified. Like, comment and share this video. Thanks for watching and see you in my next tutorial. Bye for now.